we came here and we did, great things. We covered the elections in ways that possibly we could, and we did an amazing job, I think. I also think that, we did a lot of stories. We've done Morning Express, we've changed, bits of platforms here and there, and we've changed things that, if you look at the ratings, if you like, shows and tells a different story. So I'm happy and proud of the moves that we made.
What you've been able to achieve so far. And of course, before all that, you were on radio.
Yes.
What were you doing on radio? News? Was it a show? Was it giving a traffic update?
Most surprisingly, I think I had a very good time in radio.
Yeah.
I enjoyed radio. Capital FM was just something else, So I got in there first as a replacement, for news. So they just wanted me just to read news. And I got in there and I started reading news. It was a good experience, just reading news, every hour of the, for I think 5 or 6 hours in the morning, then maybe in the evening and whatnot. And it was brilliant.
Yes.
But soon, I started getting, a bit, caught up in other things. I had a passion for sports, for instance. So I started, hanging around, with a good friend of mine, up to date, is called James Okabi. And shortly, I started reading sports news because it came quite natural for me, to read sports. And it caught on and they started doing a show, a sports show.
Yeah.
So we actually do, is it a 4-hour show, on sports? And it was something that was funny, interesting, and it was what I'd looked forward to. And radio has a way of just catching on, on you. It has an imaginary audience. You create, very good rapport with people, that you don't know, you've never met. They just know your voice.
Yeah.
And that breaks when you get to TV.
All right, now to the questions. Pips and Twips are tweeting in, and thank you for that. We'll start with Wachayu. He says, ask James Smart, is it true you're an Arsenal FC fan? And if so, shake Wenger's hand for me. Is it Wenger or Wenger? Wenger.
Arsene Wenger.
Wenger.
Yes, he's French.
Fan,
yeah,
so
he's French.
For me, when you meet him, so are you?
Say what? What
are
is
you
the
an
question?
Arsenal fan?
I'm a strict, serious, diehard, complete Arsenal fan.
No, what are all those words?
No. Because here's the thing: I will have a season ticket ready for the next Arsenal match, and I'm going to watch, most of the matches, and I'll make sure that I not only meet Wenger but I interview Wenger. So that is for you. Okay, that is for Mr. Wachu Paulus, and shake his hand. So tweet pic,
yes,
send it.
We'll have it on Morning Express, and we'll remember this time when you promised.
Yes.
Then. Hewa Mdomoni is saying, reminds me of the story of Grass by Obemwindi. All the best, Chief, he says. Peter is saying, what is the biggest lesson you've learned about the Kenyan journalism?
I think until that in terms of story, just after the fire in Mukuru, Kwanjanga, the big fire that killed about 100 or so people, I was sent there to go and do a 1 year later story.
Yes.
And I went there, and the first thing I was supposed to do is just to do a 1 year story, where are the victims now, what really happened, and that was supposed to be my usual story. So I got there, and the first thing that I realized after I spent the first day and the second day was that this story is not just about the victims who were burnt. This is a story about a community. And how do I give just 10 or 5 minutes of an entire story of a people and their challenge and what really this thing was all about in 5 minutes or 10 minutes piece, in just saying these are the victims and that's it. So I said what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend more time with these victims, and I spent about 2 weeks there, every single day. My brief was just to be there for 2 days. So I spent 2 weeks. And while I was there was this little girl who used to hang out, because I tried and traced every person who had, burnt injuries and all the kind of things. And there's this young girl, she was just about 14 at that time. She used to hang around every time I'm there and I'm doing interviews. She's just there, and she was young. She's called Muniva.
Yeah.
So I asked, on about a day before I finished, who's this girl and what's her story? So this girl, she was in class 8. And that morning, when that fire broke out at Mukuru Kwanjanga, she had just left her mom and went to school, which was just on somewhere, across the bridge. So she went, and immediately the fire happened, she was in her class, and she saw that place just going up in flames. And she told her teacher, that is our house. So the teacher was like, no, just relax, of course you have to calm down, we'll look at what it is, and you can't go there. So she left, and she ran home, she ran back home. And she left her mother sleeping, and that was it. She didn't know any other person in the world except her mother, all right? And it just went up in flames, and she saw her life just go up in flames, just like that. So she went ahead, she got, I think, about, you know, is it 100 or something in KCPE, and, you know, she had no sponsors, she has nothing. Her life basically just grounded into a halt. At that time, she was living by someone who was an acquaintance of her mother, who used just to do business with her. Her mother used to sell beans and chapatis, you know, to people who used to do business around, you know, and Mukuru kwa Njenga. So my story changed immediately, you know, and I made her my story. And I started telling the story of the challenges of the people of Mukuru kwa Njenga from her perspective. But it's not about how many people died. It's not about how many people have had injuries. It's about how this community not only lives, but how generally we live in this country. But we have, it is right and proper, you know, for many of us, you know, to be beggars. And continue living like that. And when things happen, we'll look it in terms of the cost, you know. So 20 people die, that's it. You know, and the story of slums has always been told as stories of fires, you know, diseases, you know, and poverty and thuggery. And I think, you know, that's not quite proper. And people have stories, they have ambitions, you know, and they want to do many things in their life. So I changed my entire story, and I focused on her, you know, and told, you know, 20-minute story on how the lives of people of Mukuru kwa Njenga have been ever since that time. Yes.
Wow, amazing. So we'll quickly go through the others, and we have some pictures I want us to discuss before we get to a person of interest in the next hour. We have about 5 minutes or so to get to 8. James Bernard Waroya, you've answered that one. Albert Kina says, ask James Smart what his middle name is. That question has come back.
That we answered before.
For those, clearly he did not catch it. Kumbusha watu.
All right, so my name is James Obuye Smart. Obuye is a wildflower.
A wildflower?
Wildflower, yes.
Oh, so you got some wild elements to you. Okay, you've told us about the biggest lesson. Bernard Barui, James is a great journalist. I'm happy for him. It's a new great opportunity to advance himself, but sad he is leaving. Oh, isn't that cute? Let's see. Someone says I look sad because you're leaving. Well, you never know whether it's sad.
She's not sad. She's very happy. Look at that. That doesn't sound like someone who's sad.
James, my heart breaks. Can I get some tissue, please? No, I do. Sad you are leaving. Abel says, don't give don't give such news on morning. Oh, don't give us such news in the morning. Priest Smart. Ooh, he remembers you are pastor. All the best.
Thank you.
And we pray for more opportunities for you. I've been crossing my fingers. James Karongo says, Kumbe, this story is true. Yeah, that is one other person asking that. And another one saying, really love our work here on Morning Express, Mike, and keep up the good work. Do you have those pictures for the summit that has been going on in the United States of America? Washington, D.C. is where world leaders have converged. And this is a picture that, James, take us through what you believe is causing this surprise, shocking look by a president.
We just got this picture, of course, obviously from the PSU Digital. If you could look, that is former U.S. President Bill Clinton and President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes.
Just before that, they had quite a great handshake. But if you look at the person who's right at the front, the middle, quite disgusted by someone interrupting what was otherwise a very good conversation between the president and, Bill Clinton.
Yes.
And I asked people to caption this in the morning. And someone asked, Bill Clinton said, Uhuru, have you seen Ocampo? Then Uhuru responded, Guy. But we have the other picture, I think, that was there. Derek Banga says it is known as the Bill Clinton treatment with a power handshake. I
think we have the other one, but just another moment on that one. So that is apparently, it's gone. Okay. If we remove the tag, then you'll be able to see the handshake. Let's remove the tag. There you see it.
Yes.
So you have Bill Clinton's hand on top.
Yes.
Of Uhuru's.
Absolutely.
And we're back to this one. So that is somebody captioning it as Bill Clinton saying, have you seen Ocampo? And the president going, Guy. That was funny.
Quite a light moment.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's happening right there. Yes, that has been, I think was yesterday night.
Yeah.
And that's Dan Luke, the power handshake. Yes, and that Ocampo moment.
So we're now to be like, James, Have you seen Mudavadi?
Wow.
So he's here with us, and in the next hour he'll join us for the person of interest. Of course, James will be talking to him. But other tweets that have come in: if you were to reincarnate, Ashikoye says, would you still be a journalist today?
You know what? I've been a Sunday school teacher, right? that was my first ever job, and in all honesty, I think I liked it. I loved it. I would love to be, you know, in my other life, you know, a Sunday school teacher. Okay. Because kids give you a lot of positive vibe. You know, they teach you that, you know, there's always hope, and they look at you with all pure eyes and honesty. And, you know, kids, you know, usually don't lie. We teach them to lie. So I would have been a Sunday school teacher, you know, for all I know.
For all you know.
Yeah.
Maina Mwangi says, oh no, James Smart is leaving. I'll miss him. And does he just want to be close to Arsene Wenger? And he promised he'll have that picture for us. An interview as well. Well, we wish you the very best.
Thank you, Sophia. It's been great and fun talking with you. Right? Quite another revelation. But yeah, you know, all paths will cross once again.
They will indeed cross. So James will not be with us at least from Friday.
Yes.
You should come on Friday for the last show. Come on, one for the team. One for the team.
We'll discuss it.
We'll discuss it. So, James Smart, for you, keep the conversation going on social media. When we return, he'll be taking over for the rest of the hour. Keep your questions coming now for Musalia Mudavadi, who's joining us shortly. I have a question for him. Please ask him this, whether he knows his nickname is Madividi.
All right.
All right.
We'll ask him that. That's, in fact, my first question.
First question.
Yes.
All right. See you guys.